At the beginning of July, and one of a number of races in the 1998 Super Touring Meisterschaft that would spell bad news, or should have spelled bad news, for BMW. These ultra-fast circuits don't suit the BMW 320i with its high grip, high downforce package. That at least is the accepted knowledge in the series. Well, Uwe Altzen on the right-hand side of the picture will start the main race here from pole position. He won the sprint from pole, his second win from his second pole of the season. Uwe Altzen in the Opel. Eric Ellery, the orange and white Opel on the left-hand side of the picture, finished second and starts on the outside of the front row for the main race here at Lahr. Baking hot conditions, ultra-fast circuit, but Johnny Cecotto in fourth place after the race, and he's done a very good job here indeed. Green lights a go. Can Cecotto make a good start here? He doesn't seem to have got away very well at all. Certainly nothing like his normal electrifying starting pace. Eric Ellery has, though, and he leads for Opel. Second place, Uwe Altzen for Opel. Gabriele Tarquini in third place in the Honda. Then Johnny Cecotto in fourth. Alexander Bergstaller in fifth place behind here, ahead of Tom Christensen, Michael Krum and Roland Asch in the two blue Nissans. There they are, side by side. Then Christian Menzel next up from Christian Abt and Laurent Aiello. And we ride with Laurent Aiello as he battles with Stefano Modena, catching the Alfa Romeo unawares at the first corner. Cecotto also hit from behind here by Alexander Bergstaller in the Opel. Venezuelan driver holds on to that one. 2 laps in, Uwe Altzen leads, Eric Ellery second, Gabriele Tarquini third in the Honda, and this is the sort of territory where Honda really should excel. Altzen with the indicators on as Eric Ellery goes past him. Altzen, knowing his car wasn't quite as quick as Ellery's, and allowing the Frenchman to go by. They are Opel teammates after all. Altzen had already won the sprint. Would have liked to have won the main race as well, but he just didn't have the car for it. 15 laps into the race then, and it's Honda second and third. Tarquini second there, Christensen third. Johnny Cecotto doing a sterling job to hold on to fourth place from Uwe Altzen, the erstwhile leader. Alexander Bergstaller in sixth, then Asch and Krum in there. Nissan Primeras seventh and eighth. Frank Biela ninth in the Audi, and then the two Peugeots, last year's outright fastest cars. Aiello and Van Orman struggling here. Reuter in 12th place, sitting right with them. Well, Christensen makes a mistake and loses third place, but just shortly afterwards, Gabriele Tarquini, trying to pass Eric Ellery for the lead, goes off onto the dirt in the effort, and Cecotto comes down inside Tarquini, inside Ellery, I beg your pardon, to take second place. So Tarquini leads for Honda, their best showing of the year by some margin. Cecotto in second place, Eric Ellery in third, and to see the high downforce BMW on this very fast circuit, battling toe-to-toe with the very quick Opel Vectra and the equally aerodynamically proficient Honda Accord, quite some surprise. Certainly BMW were looking to these races as being real races to survive against the high-speed opponents, but Johnny Cecotto chasing Gabriele Tarquini all the way to the line past the stranded Honda of Tom Christensen, but Honda win their first race of the year courtesy of Tarquini, and the team celebrate with delight. Cecotto second, and then Opel's mixing it up with the Audi of Frank Biela in fifth place. So that was the scene at Lahr. Gabriele Tarquini celebrating with the Honda Sport team, and Johnny Cecotto, the leader of the championship now by 41 points over Laurent Aiello, having come to the Lahr circuit just 7 points ahead. And behind him, the Opels and the Nissans fighting for position. Wunsdorf, the 2nd of August, round 6 of the championship. Manuel Reuter on pole from Laurent Aiello, Tom Christensen and Gabriele Tarquini, third and fourth on the grid. Again, a damp circuit. Surprising when you look back just how many of these races were run in damp or wet conditions in the early part of 1998, and poor getaway from third place on the grid for Gabriele Tarquini, being swamped by the field. Cecotto's on the grass. Christensen taking a very wide line into the first corner, and behind them it's two cars going off, Leopold von Bayern and Marco Bromberger's Opel getting in collision, and he goes off into the barriers. Bromberger off there as well. Meanwhile, Christensen about to take the lead in this three-way slipstream drag race. Aiello second, Reuter in third, Honda, Peugeot, Opel, Peugeot. And here is the replay from Alexander Bergstaller on the left and Christian Menzel ahead. This is from Christian App's Audi, which just avoided those problems. Now Aiello takes the lead on the back straight chicane. Christensen in second place, but he's got Manuel Reuter right in the tow, and this is a very aerodynamic circuit. As Aiello starts to ease away here, Reuter pulls out and goes through under braking. The fast left-hander at the back of the circuit, and the Opel is up into second. So Tarquini fighting hard. But big problems for Gabriele Tarquini. Drops a wheel onto the dirt. And off he goes at high speed. Gathers it all together without hitting anything hard. But the grass on the side of the circuit, very, very rough indeed. So Aiello leading from Manuel Reuter by a massive margin now. Tom Christensen in third place there. Second Peugeot of Jörg van Ommen, fourth ahead of Uwe Altzen. Then a gap back to Eric Ellery with Michael Krum for company. Then a further gap back. Cicotto, Biela and Winkelhock. They are 8, 9 and 10, all in point scoring positions. 11th is Christian Menzel behind them, and Franz Engsler, the first of the privateers, is in 12th place. He's the second of the privateers. Christian Menzel in the private Isert team BMW in 11th. Cicotto making a mistake. Frank Biela goes past the Venezuelan for 8th place. Overtaking Johnny Cicotto is never easy. Biela having to fight for every inch of track space. Biela now with a BMW on either side of him, one in either mirror. Going on to the wet part of the race circuit to defend the inside line and to keep his tyres cool. Winkelhock goes deep in nice and early. But then he runs out wide and Biela comes back. Inspired driving by Frank Biela. That's all just for 8th place. Victory though for Laurent Aiello. He wins from Manuel Reuter. Tom Christensen third, some way back as you can see, ahead of Jörg van Ommen. Johnny Cicotto in 9th place ahead of Joe Winkelhock in 10th, and that means that Aiello is now 23 points behind Cicotto. So away they go, Aiello leading away from Reuter and Christensen, and fast starting BMWs. Cicotto again on the grass on the right hand side of the picture. Winkelhock again going down the pit wall on the left. So early on, and Laurent Aiello takes the lead at the first chicane as Frank Biela rolls out of contention. Emanuele Pirro almost following him there at the first chicane, running over the very high concrete curbing that supports the bollards there. Aiello leading from Reuter, and here we go. Those are those massive concrete protrusions there, rolling Frank Biela, and all but following him there, Emanuele Pirro. That would have been a very expensive 3 seconds. Here is the view from just behind Emanuele Pirro, courtesy of Alexander Bergstaller. You can just see the Audi rather, being launched into that monster roll. So Aiello then, from Reuter and Christensen. Jörg van Ommen in 4th place. Cicotto being involved in the snarl up with Biela, and he dropped down out of 6th place. Now here is Altzen passing Christensen, 15 laps to go. Van Ommen had already passed Christensen for 3rd in the 2nd lap. Van Ommen now under pressure from the very quick Opel of Uwe Altzen. Altzen twice a winner in the sprints, yet to win a race in the 98 season. But it may all come his way as massive clouds of engine oil smoke pour out of Laurent Aiello's car. Manuel Reuter goes streaking past as the leader, the Peugeot, pulls over. So Reuter leading then from Alsen. He is nearly 9 seconds ahead of Alsen though. Van Ommen third, Ellery fourth, Christensen fifth, Krum sixth, and now we're looking back at Joachim Winkelhock. This is from the back of Johnny Cecotto's BMW. 13 laps of the race left to go, but no change in the lead order. Manuel Reuter runs away for his second win of the year. Cecotto and Winkelhock both passed by the Audi, this time of Christian Abt, for 8th place, and so again they finished 9th and 10th. Uwe Alsen second, Jörg Van Ommen in 3rd place, very close together, and a close battle there for 4th, 5th and 6th. And here are Cecotto and Winkelhock. Christian Menzel playing tail gunner there in this BMW threesome, holding off the privateer Opel. Trying to guarantee that Cecotto has an unmolested trip to the line. One on either side of him, flying in formation, flanking out any opposition there from Klaus Niedzwitz, who's right behind. But problems for Johnny Cecotto, and possibly as a legacy of that first corner involvement with Frank Bieler, because Cecotto has broken the steering on the car, and courtesy of his teammates still manages to hold on for 10th place there. Without them he would have been swamped. Well, that's gained him 4 valuable points over 11th place, and who knows, that may make the difference at the end of the season. You can never tell in this German Super Touring season. So Johnny Cecotto leading by 45 points at this stage from Laurent Aiello. Quite some surprise, not least for Aiello, who blew up while leading the main race and lost 60 points that would have put him in charge of the championship. Reuter instead